Episode 32, Our League podcast. I'm on after the duo Eds alongside my co-host, my brother, my brethren, Ethan. How you doing, my guy? How's your weekend been?
Yeah, it was good. I'd say it was good. It just goes too quickly. I think I've mentioned this before, but yeah, I'd never feel rested over the weekend, and then when Monday hits, it's always busy, busy, busy. So yeah, how about you?
Yeah, no, man. I just snuck a quick nap in before we started recording because I don't like was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday I went to so my nan, my uncle, and yeah, my nan and my uncle are visiting from Ghana. My uncle just had a baby, so congrats to him. Um, and then my nan, she hasn't been over for a while, so I had to go see her. And to be fair, she's been over for I'd say a month and a bit, but I haven't gone to see because
Mm,
it's just all the women there. Like, what am I going to do? Like all that,
yeah.
like she just wants to see my face. That's all she wants to do.
Mm,
And then if I go there and I say hi, I hug, and then I'm just gonna be there by myself. Like there's no one, like all the little cousins, they're not my age. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
It's not like none of, and all my other female cousins, that are near my age, they're not around. They're either in Ghana or they're in other parts of the country
yeah.
or in the city. So it's like, what am I gonna do? So when my mom told me my uncle Percy was there, I had to go visit. And plus, he's my favorite uncle. He was like a brother, like an older brother to me growing up.
Mm,
When I was in primary school, he was studying at Kingston University, so every weekend he'd come over. He's the one who initially got me into watching basketball and stuff.
oh, okay.
He used to make me like DVDs of like the Iverson mixtapes and stuff, and part of what I got into. And he still breaks my balls every time. He's like, "Oh, you should have supported United. You should have supported
Mm.
United." I was like, "I shouldn't have, mate. I tell you." But yeah, that's been my weekend. And I was meant to have an interview today for like nothing serious, just like a weekend job because I want to do like a weekend job as well. Because obviously I'm
Yeah.
gonna, like God willing, get into doing the master's degree. So I wanted to secure a weekend job for now because if let's say I'm doing uni like 3-4 days a week, I'm gonna leave what I'm ever doing now and then do that. And so for the next 4 months, no one's gonna see me. God willing, I
Yeah.
get this job 7 days a week grinding
Mm,
just because I don't want to be stressing over money while I'm doing the masters. That's
yeah.
that
Yeah.
that's not the vibe. That's not the vibe at all. But yeah, man, just been chilling. Interesting week of sports.
Yeah. It
Um,
was.
I watched a bit of the F1, but it didn't have my attention. It was the final day
No.
of football, mate. So sorry. And they must have known because the race was a bit early. It was a bit early, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
They surely knew that no one was going to be watching it.
Yeah, no, I don't know why they must have thought it was a rookie mistake to put it on the same day as, the last day of the season. But yeah, I don't know how they would have gone around the scheduling of it. But yeah,
And Champions League is when? This weekend?
yeah, this weekend.
Yeah, yeah, this
Yeah.
weekend. And then conference. How come the conference final was later than the Europa League final? I thought the conference
I
final was lesser than.
yeah, it's meant to be lesser than, but it seems to it's this Thursday coming up. So yeah, I don't understand it.
Boy, but all right, what do you want to start with? But we might as well start with basketball because there's only what 2 rounds
Yeah,
of
yeah.
games. What Heat versus the Celtics, 2-1 to the Miami Heat as of right now. Did you? I'm currently wearing a Boston jersey, but I am a Sixers fan. There's a Kyrie jersey. Allow me.
Mm.
Um, what have you made of this series thus far? And did you think the Miami Heat would be up 2-1?
Um, yeah, no, I would have thought after the previous round they would be up because, like we've seen in the previous rounds, they just look experienced, a well-rounded team. They're
Physical,
probably not the best to watch,
no.
maybe, and they don't have the star-studded team, but they're well experienced. And yeah, no, I like them as a team anyway. But yeah, I think they'll probably go on and win it. But yeah, Boston. I feel like the injuries, obviously, to Marcus Smart, Tatum had to go off the last game and came back on. But yeah, I think it's a big ask for them to go and beat Miami now. I feel like the injuries are playing a big part, and yeah, Tatum. I feel like they are a one-man team sometimes, and that's probably what's gonna hinder them really.
It's very physical basketball. It is
Mm,
very different in comparison to the regular season. It's very, very
yeah.
physical. Um, yeah, to be fair, like you said with Miami, they're not the best team, but they're a physical team, well
Mm,
oiled, and they've got a Hall of Fame coach and Eric Spoelstra, who's been there, done that several times, and he knows how
mm,
to manage his squad. And it's one of those teams where we questioned it with Boston earlier in the year. Like there's little pockets of egos here and there. It's my
yeah.
team. It's my team.
Yeah.
I'm the guy. I'm the guy. I think
Yeah.
everyone in on Miami team know this is Jimmy Butler's team. And again, I hate that phrase. This guy's team, that guy's team, but it's
Mm,
Jimmy Butler's the main man. Everyone else play your position,
mm.
and I kind of think they have the belief that they can make it as well because they went to a finals was it 2 years ago in the bubble?
Yeah, 2 years ago now. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like once you know you can do something, to do it again, it's really not that difficult.
Mm,
And I'm not trying to compare these two things, but I failed my first driving test, and it wasn't my fault. The lady
mm,
was walking past the zebra crossing. She did not indicate her body that she was gonna cross, and then she just crossed. And then the instructor put his foot on the brake. And once they put their foot on the brake, you failed your test.
mm.
But I was driving so smooth. I even felt to put one hand, but if you do that, they'll tell you off. Um, and so a month later, I booked my test. I didn't book no lessons in between. I drove and I was so smooth and I passed it. But it's because I've been there, done that. I know what to do now. And I
Yeah.
kind of feel like that's the case with this Miami Heat team. In game 3, PJ Tucker 17 points, 7 rebounds. He was 5 for 10 from field goals, 3 for 6 from 3. I've been listening to a lot of the American media talk about PJ Tucker and that Milwaukee was a mistake for them not to re-sign him.
Mm.
And because he's a guy, first and foremost, no one's going to stop a great player. You can slow them down, you can make them work for all their points, but he's a guy who's going to defend hard and he's going to shoot threes. You kind of need like guys with a dog mentality on every team, essentially, innit?
Yeah. Yeah. That and that's what Miami have really.
All around.
All round. Yeah.
And it starts with the main guy, Jimmy Butler. But someone was saying that he did, because I haven't watched the game yet. I was about to watch the highlights, but I was so tired. I needed a nap. But someone was saying that he didn't come out second half or something like
No,
that.
yeah, they benched him. Apparently he's got a little knock. But yeah, Kyle Lowry stepped up and he was balling out. So yeah, they've got players that can step in and fill the spot for him. But yeah, that would be a big miss if he is out for a long period.
If Jimmy Butler's out, I don't think they win the series.
No, I don't think so either.
But Bam Adebayo, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. That guy, I love him, man. Because he's just, I like guys that aren't meant to be as good as they are.
Yeah.
Because I think he was a lottery pick, I think. But still, no one thought he'd be 31 points in the Eastern Conference Final type of quality. And he can, like a Giannis, he can guard all 5 positions and stuff. Just a versatile guy. I like how he plays his game. From the Boston side of things, Tatum, like you said, he went out. He had 10 points. Al Horford, 20 points. I remember like when he was at my Sixers, he just looked like a shell of himself. And then he went to OKC, he wasn't the same as well. And then Boston, he started working out again. Is it a case of maybe he's mentally, he likes the city, the system fits around him, the coaching's around him, and he's kind of a vet? Or is it just a case of like if you don't lose it and people just need to believe in you?
Yeah, I think he knows his place in this squad. He is a vet, and I think he runs with that really. I think he likes that on his chest a bit. 20 points is a bit like you wouldn't expect that from him, but he's been given those performances in the playoffs. So no, full respect to him, but I don't know whether Boston can do it now, man.
And what I'm even more surprised of, I watched a bit of this game. Warriors 109 to Dallas 100. It's 3-0 to the Warriors. Did you expect it to be 3-0, or did you, after Luka's last series with Phoenix Suns, did you expect a more competitive series?
A bit of both. I'm not surprised that the Suns are running away. Not the Suns. Warriors are running away with it. Because they're like Miami. They're a well-rounded team. They've got players that can come off the bench. Their defense is brilliant as well. So I'm not surprised. But also the sort of display they put in that Suns game. The the Mavericks. I'm surprised they haven't really competed that much. Although Luka's really put the numbers up in the games. I think he got 40 points, but 3 assists. Like the other guys aren't really stepping up with him. So yeah, it's difficult because he is a one-man team at
Yeah,
times.
He really is a one-man team, innit?
So that's one of the questions that we had earlier on in the season. Is he bound to go somewhere else? Like, is he? I don't know. It's a tough one because that team really wouldn't be anywhere near the playoffs if he weren't there. Yeah,
they would stink if he didn't there. Andrew Wiggins, 27 points, 11 rebounds, 11 for 20 on field goals. He's a guy I've always liked his game. And I feel like the media always knocking because he's the number one pick. But I always say this, I've said this several times. Like, instead of critiquing the guy, why don't we critique the people drafting these guys? Essentially, because the guy's not putting a gun to you and they say, hey, you got to draft me number one. You took him number one.
Yeah.
What about coaching? What about development? What about culture? Like, if he had stayed with Cleveland, if Cleveland never traded him and he stayed with Kyrie and LeBron and he was the third option on his team, is there a career in a whole other universe where Andrew Wiggins, let's say he's a 5-time All-Star, averages 23 points per game, and defensively he's a beast just because like those guys would demand it of him? Is there a different world and different whatever universe where Andrew Wiggins is a guy?
Maybe we wouldn't know. But yeah, he's made his own career. He's had these little trades here and there. He was at Timberwolves where he was an okay player, but you needed to see a little bit more. And now at Golden State, he's really developing into that guy. Even with that poster in this recent game, I was like, "What?" I was so surprised.
Bounce.
But yeah, no, he's a real impressive player, and he's only going to get better, I think.
Yeah, I feel like the media always give him a hard time because they expected this of him, but a guy's going to be who a guy's going to be. Essentially, I think being a rookie and going to Minnesota possibly didn't help. But yeah, I know they had KG there as a vet, but then once he left, it's him and Karl Towns, and people have had their question marks about Karl Towns and his leadership and if he really wants it like that. I think this year he kind of proved that he does want it. Maybe Patrick Beverley being there has helped. We'll talk about Patrick Beverley in a bit. He's hilarious. But and then Steph Curry, 31 points, 11 assists. Klay Thompson, 19 points. Yeah, man. Then they got guys coming off the bench. They didn't even start Kuminga. You know what I mean? Top pick. He didn't even start him. Jordan Poole only had 10 points. When you look at that in comparison to Luka's got to score 40, Brunson's got to score 20, Finley only had 9, Bullock didn't have any, and he took 10 shots, 7 threes. Yeah. Dinwiddie had 26 off the bench, but still, like we've said before, I think they do need like another star guy on that team to possibly entice Luka to want to stay and to truly make noise. But how they're performing now, does it make you look at the Sun series a bit different, or is it just a case of this Warriors team similar to Miami's, just well-rounded from top to bottom, good vets and good young guys?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they faced their match because they probably would have faced their match in the early rounds, but yeah, that Suns, I think they weren't at it. They weren't in that series. I think there was telltale signs that you knew they were falling off a bit. But yeah, that discredit the Mavs to get to this position is unbelievable. I didn't really feel like they would get to this position. So yeah, maybe next year if they do add a star to this team, they might go further on, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I hear that. I think that's it for NBA, buddy. I think I wanted to touch on one thing though. We've spoken about this in previous episodes, but I want to touch on it now in terms of the salary cap is really annoying me, specifically with like the Mbappe deal that happened. Yeah. And I'm just looking at it in football and it's like, could that ever happen in basketball? Because the Memphis Grizzlies, that's a team that we both like, right? Ja Morant, Triple J, Desmond Bain, Brandon Clark, who else they got? Steve Adams, Anderson, Dylan Brooks. They got a good young core. But I'm looking at that team and it's like they're gonna have to get split up in about 2-3 years because of the salary cap. Like everyone's gonna want to get paid because I don't know if they knew guys would be this good. Like Desmond Bain was the last pick in the first round. He could possibly look like he'd be a second option on a good team.
Yeah.
John Morant's gonna get a super max rookie deal. Triple J's got a high deal. Dylan Brooks got a good deal. I forgot about Zaire Williams as well on their team. Like in terms of, do you think there should be incentives to like teams to, if you draft guys, you can actually like maybe not go over the top of it, but be rewarded for drafting well and keep your guys opposed to like having to let them leave because you can't pay them. Because when I look at this Memphis Grizzlies team, I think of OKC and like the owners didn't want to go over the salary cap, but if you went over the salary cap and paid the luxury tax, they would have kept Harden, Westbrook, and Durant.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, no one would have expected Memphis to get just a good core of young players that are just playing brilliant basketball at the moment. I think the salary cap just keeps it as a fair field for everyone to play within. It makes the league a bit more fair, and you have to work within those means. It's a difficult one, but I get why the salary cap is there.
Well, what about in terms of like small market teams? Because Memphis it's not sunshine and lollipops. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, and then we're already hearing the rumblings about Utah and stuff with matey boy, what's his name again? He's out of my head. Spider Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell. Like teams like that, they must know once this guy's finished his rookie extension, he's gonna leave. Same, like, look at AD in New Orleans. Like he went to LA. Like guys want to move to either LA, Miami, New York, or San Fran. Like, does that have a bit of an edge as well, or that's any sport really, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it works its way around, especially in these small towns. Like if one of their star players goes on and gets traded, they'll probably have a poor season, get one of these lottery picks, they'll probably get first pick, and then they'll generate a new star, they'll generate sales and all of that. So it works its way around. But I get the whole, everyone gets excited in a small town like Memphis, and then in 2 years, they're all going to be elsewhere, making their money elsewhere. So it's a difficult one, but that's American sports for you, I think.
That's it. I forgot to mention this before, so I'll edit this bit and I'll put it at the front of the show. Who's matey boy? The guy who did Get Out.
What's his name?
Daniel what?
I'm trying to think of it. I can't pronounce his name.
I've got it in front of me, but I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce it because I just feel like I'll be disrespectful. Yeah. It's come out that he's going to be the narrator of Arsenal All or Nothing, how our season ended. I'm not going to talk about the football bit, but as far as the season ended, are you looking forward to Arsenal All or Nothing? And specifically, what part of the season are you looking forward to watching with Arsenal All or Nothing?
I think, I wouldn't say there's a specific part. I think the whole season in general, I think, take it back. Arsenal have had, if you said in height, like you take fifth at this, but at the start of the season,
I'll take fifth.
At the start of the season, you would take fifth. So seeing that and seeing how your team has come from the start of the season, where you had your little dips, obviously the Brentford and Chelsea game, and then that consistent front where you were just going on and just being, I think, the positives after the positive with results. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to the Aubameyang bit. Obviously, looking forward to the end of the season with how stuff has kind of dropped off. But I think all round, I think it should be a good watch. I feel like Arsenal fans, obviously now looking at the season, it's a bit disappointing. But you would take it. You would take this season. I think with that young core, I think there's somewhat positives to the situation. I feel like Spurs are an aging squad where I don't know where they build. I don't know where the youth players are coming from. I see the positives in Arsenal's situation. I don't know about you.
As I've had time to reflect and converse with other fans of other clubs and also other Arsenal fans, and just look at the comments on socials and stuff. In hindsight, it is a good season. If I'm being completely honest, not to get too much into the football talk now, but it's start of the season, I would have bit your hand off fifth. Yeah, I'll take fifth, especially with this young core and especially everything that transpired here, Aubameyang and whatever, I would have taken it. But should we have got fourth? Absolutely. We shouldn't have lost 3 on the bounce. But again, we'll go on to that. Photos of potential Love Island contestants have been revealed. They all look the same. Have you seen the photos? I'll send it to you right now.
I try not to look at the contestants going on.
I'll send it to you right now. They all look, it's a joke. No, seriously, bro. It's not even funny. Like, it's literally like we're gonna carbon copy each year. Boom, here you go. It's just literally 3 white girls. A couple of them look like they got the tan on to make them look Mediterranean, and 3 light skinned guys. Like,
yeah, there's 2 girls that look like twins.
Yes.
Yeah, and light skinned guys. Yeah.
And someone made a meme on TikTok. I don't know if you watched it. Yeah, like, it was like a modeling agency for recruiting for Love Island. There was a light skinned guy with square head. He's like, "Oh yeah, you'll be perfect for Love Island."
Oh, I think I did see it. I did see this. Yeah. I did see this.
Do they need to do it? Do they need to make an effort of trying to change the cast? I understand that they have to project this glamorous lifestyle and conventional beauty and stuff like that. But a lot of and I rarely look at comments, but for these type of things, I like to look at comments in terms of some people have said, "Hey, what about some, plus size contestants? What about I know in the past years they've made efforts to try and bring more Asian, both Eastern Asian and Southern Asian contestants. What about some Middle Eastern contestants and tall, short? Because like, do they need to just have a diverse array of the society that they're projected this onto to make it feel somewhat inclusive? Or end of the day, is it their show? They can do what they want.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, yeah, they do kind of need to get with the times, but I think everyone's still watching it anyway. So they're on to a winner, really. So I don't feel like they're really going to change the formula, really, in this sense. So yeah, I get the whole comments of trying to diversify it, but ITV are going to do what they want, I reckon.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And yeah, cool. I think it's time for the football, buddy. Football. Let me get the results up. What was the first game? The first game, I didn't know there was all 2 o'clock, innit?
Yeah, all 4 o'clock kickoffs.
What did you think of that?
You know what? There's something that I was really annoyed with. Is that the coverage. The fact
those 3 games
Sky,
live.
Yeah, the fact that Sky showed only 3 games was actually really quite a piss take.
Yeah. Because I was just thinking, surely they should have had the red button or wherever you can just watch X, Y, and Z channel, all the games.
All games, really.
Because they're showing it later. Like, if you go on Sky now, they'll be like, "Oh, Arsenal versus Everton." But what's the point of this? Why don't you just give me the option? Like, because if you're paying for it, you should. Hey, you have the option of X, Y, and Z. Like all the games. What? How many? 10? It was 10 games, didn't it? It was 10 games.
Yeah,
right?
10 games. Yeah, all games. Yeah.
They were. What games did they show? They showed
Brentford,
Liverpool,
Leeds. Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool, Wolves,
and Leeds, Burnley. Was it Leeds?
Leeds, Brentford.
Yeah.
And that was only Man City, and obviously Man City as well.
And that was only because it was the title game and relegation battle. That's the only reason why they showed the game. So yeah, you said you was pissed off. I was pissed off as well. But what was your, like, to elaborate? How come?
Yeah, no, because it's the last game. I feel like that people had stuff to play for still. So obviously Burnley still had stuff to play for. So the coverage of that, no show for that.
Yeah.
It's the last game of the season, so it's a one-off. People get excited. We're not going to watch football for maybe the next three or 4 months. So if you put all the games on the red button, we have a choice. The fact that you only put 3 games on,
joke,
is actually a joke. And they weren't even. Was there the split screen option like they've done in the past?
Not that I'm aware of.
So that wasn't even our option. So yeah, no, I was really pissed off with the coverage, but Sky are gonna do what they're gonna do as well. We're gonna keep on pumping money into them, and yeah, they're gonna benefit from it.
They should have let BBC have some games, ITV have some games, possibly Channel 4, possibly
Yeah.
Amazon.
Amazon is one thing that I hope for the future that
they get more games.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing things about Netflix. I don't know how that works, but hey, I don't know how that works, but they're losing money, so they're probably going to try to get into the live sports game. Because I think we said this before, live sports is the only thing keeping TV alive. Because I'm paying for my Wi-Fi and my sports packages, which is the only thing I have on my TV, because I'm the only one that really watches TV and it's live. Like my sister's on her phone, Netflix, whatever. My mom's watching whatever. I'm paying like 60 something pound, bro, 70 pound. And half of it is the phone bill and the Wi-Fi is 30, and the rest of it is the sports. So I was watching 2 games. I was watching the City game and I watched the Arsenal game, and I had to illegally stream the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this as a guy who pays the money. I want to pay the money to watch my team play and have no disturbance throughout the game, but that wasn't possible. So yeah, the coverage, like you said, it was a joke of a thing, and do better, Sky. Do you know what I mean? Even give BT some of the games. Right, cool. Let's start. Crystal Palace 1, Man United 0. Wilfried Zaha scored 37th minute. United 10 shots, 4 on target, 62% possession. Thoughts of this game?
I haven't watched it back. I don't really intend to watch it back. I feel like they've got their Europa League spot just about. But yeah, no, disappointing. But Palace have been brilliant this season. Yeah. Patrick Vieira, what he's done for Palace is unbelievable. I just hope they get a few loans here and there for them next season to kind of push on a bit, and also get a few good signings as well. But not Conor Gallagher though.
Yeah, I think Chelsea are gonna want him back in it, because he's a star in the making. Arsenal 5, Everton 1. You go first before I go, buddy. I've got a lot to say.
Yeah, I still haven't watched this game. Yeah, I think I've seen a few goals here and there, but when the pressure's off, you guys perform. This is it. Obviously, Everton didn't have much to play for. They were staying up in their previous game against Palace, but I feel like this is Arsenal all over. Yeah, when the pressure's off, you guys perform. The same as when you played against us earlier on, a few games back. The pressure wasn't really on you guys to win that. You were the underdog going into that game, so yeah, the win was a plus. So yeah, I mean, it's just it's disappointing. The fact that you dropped it at Newcastle was the one where you could have been the top 4 then.
Could have been the top 4 team. Arsenal 26 shots. Everton had 6 shots. Arsenal had 9 on target. Everton to 74% possession for Arsenal. Martinelli scored penalty. Nketiah, Cedric, Gabriel, Odegaard, and then Van de Beek scored for them in extra time. Like you said, you basically summed it up, buddy. Arsenal, I was so angry watching this game. I didn't even enjoy the game. I really didn't even enjoy the game, because it was like that you want to perform like this now when the pressure's off, wearing the new kits. Bloody idiots. Do you know what I mean? Like, can we go back to the days where a kit lasts 2 seasons? Can we do that, please?
Yeah, that's true.
It's just getting ridiculous, bruv. You lot are charging me X amount for a membership, and then I'm a red member. I'm not even like an elite like that. So then I've got to wait for the second round of ticket availability. Then I'm paying a fortune for the tickets. Then I'm going to the stadium, spending a fortune on the food, spending a fortune on the bloody kits each year, and then you're bringing out nonsense kits, and then the kits that I actually want to wear, like that all white one, you're not even selling it. Like it's a joke, bro. And you remember when the teams tried to do that what's it called? Pay per game thing. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And Arsenal was trying to do. Oh, mate. Yeah, I was so annoyed. And like you said, when the pressure's off, Arsenal want to perform. Absolutely joke. But anyway, we move. Chelsea 2, Watford 1. Havertz and Ross Barkley scored. Your thoughts on the game, bud?
Yeah, it was it. Given that we were going to beat Watford, but I thought we would cruise it, maybe 4 or 5. But yeah, a whole roundup of the season is a bit disappointing for Chelsea standards. No real cup other than the Club World Cup. But yeah, hopefully we add to the signings that we've got. And yeah, hopefully we move and compete with Liverpool and City, but it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Leicester 4, Southampton 1. Maddison, Vardy, Perez scored 2. James Ward-Prowse scored 2. We've spoken about Leicester previously in regards to, like, we felt like they should have kicked on. I feel like they need a few more strikers. I feel like they need a striker.
Yeah.
I think their defense is pretty good, to be fair. I like Evans. I think he's good. Fofana's come back from his injury. He's come back from his injury, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's back. Yeah.
I like him. Fullbacks, that's the thing. They've got a good young team as well. I just maybe a few star players here and there to plug in and play, but alas, we move forward. Brentford 1, Leeds 2. To be fair, I wish I watched this game. I really do wish I watched this game, because I watched the City game. City game ended up being good, but this was a good game as well in terms of the highlights I watched. So Rafinha scored a penalty, then Brentford scored, and then Jack Harrison scored extra time, essentially to keep them up, innit? So fair play to Leeds. What do Leeds have to do now? Because they were very close. And we said this at the start of the season. If they don't add to their team in the summer or in January, they could get relegated. And they was like a minute away from being relegated. Yeah. What do they now have to do in terms to stay up in the Prem?
I think obviously the centre-back position, I think Cooper being out for a large spell of the season didn't help. So a centre-back is essential. That centre-mid position, Calvin Phillips was out a majority of the season. So, getting a solid centre as a CDM or centre-mid would be...
10.
Yeah, I think a 10 possibly. If you got Rafinha can play in that position. Rodrigo's played in that position sometimes this season. And then obviously a striker. A striker is the key one. Bamford being out with 2 injuries this season is just, it's gutting. But yeah, I think that they'll improve. Jesse Marsch will bring in some of his Salzburg guys that he had previously. So I think the project with Jesse Marsch might be good. They might be a top 10 team in the future, but yeah, they need to get proper good signings over this summer period.
Newcastle 2, Burnley 1. Our guy Cornet scored, and Callum Wilson scored 2 goals. Cornet, hey man, North London's calling. Newcastle, dangerous man. They've caught fire. This summer's a big summer for them, isn't it?
Yeah, defo. I think this is the biggest transfer window for them than anyone else. I think if they get it right, they push on to that Europa League position or even Champions League. I think it's too far for the Champions League at this time, but if they get that Europa League position, I think they just build on. Obviously, Eddie Howe's had a brilliant impact already. I don't see him long term, but Newcastle are in the best position at the moment.
I saw Robbie from AFTV talk about teams like Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, Leicester should all be like crying themselves to bed and be really scared in terms of like Newcastle coming for their position, because it can happen. It can happen just like that. Man City came out of the, you know what I mean? Came out of nowhere, and now they've won the league 4 times in 5 years. It could easily happen. So, is that the case? Do you think like maybe 2 seasons away from possibly being a top 4 club?
Yeah, possibly. We never know. Like you said, with the sign, they have to get right with the signings. And also managerial. So in a way, if the right manager comes along and he's free, I feel like they have to go for it at the time. So those teams like I say Arsenal, I say Spurs and West Ham and Leicester, they should be worried in a way, but you guys are a bit more established than Newcastle at this moment in time. So I wouldn't worry too much in the next year, maybe in the next 2 years or 3 years, maybe.
I would love to go to an away game at St. James's Park. That's one stadium I've always admired. I heard that when you go, I remember Anthony talking about it. He said when you go up, it's like so steep and you're going up, and they said it's in the middle of the city centre as well, which seems pretty cool. Man City 3, Aston Villa 2. Cash scored 37th minute. Coutinho scored 69th minute. Gundogan scored 76th minute. Rodri scored 78th minute. And Gundogan scored again 81st minute. Like I said, I watched this game live, but I was annoyed at the same time. I was watching that on the TV, Arsenal on the phone, because I had to watch a link, and I was just annoyed. Like I wasn't in a good mood, so I didn't really appreciate the game.
Yeah.
But good comeback on them to secure the league, innit?
Yeah. To get 3 goals within 5 minutes is unbelievable. But Villa as well. Villa came out sharp, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Steven Gerrard effect. Obviously, being a Liverpool lad, he obviously wanted City to lose. But yeah, give props to City and Pep. Whatever he told them, it worked. He made the changes that needed to be done. I didn't watch this game. I was watching the Liverpool game in the pub.
Yeah.
And going back, I think Liverpool fans were going back and forth from 2 TVs. And you could hear when City were losing and Liverpool were winning. It's a roller coaster. But yeah, probably one of the best last days I've seen in a while.
A lot of Liverpool fans in the tavern. Innit? A lot of Liverpool.
Yeah. Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans are everywhere in London, man. Probably more than in Liverpool.
Do you reckon?
I don't know.
Yeah. I have heard that Liverpool. I have heard that a lot of the fans in the city are Everton, though. I have heard that, to be fair.
Okay.
I have heard that. Them boys down the road, Tottenham 5, Norwich 0. Didn't watch this game. I'm not going to watch this game.
No.
But Kulusevski, they're gonna try and sign him up, innit? And he's done a lot for him. But if you're him now, you've probably got an array of clubs trying to holler at you. Are you staying at Spurs, or if one of them big boys come calling, are you gonna go to them? Or possibly back to Juve? Juve might say, you know what, we need you now.
I think he's in the Spurs plan. I think Conte loves him. He's played consistent games. I think if he goes back to Juve, I don't see him starting. It's just one of those things. I think with Chiesa, Morata, Vlahovic, I just don't see him getting in that front 3 at this moment in time. But yeah, with Spurs, they're a consistent team. They're going to be around the top 4 spot, top 5. So I think he'll use this probably as he'll do one more year at Spurs and then probably go on from there.
By the way, someone came for you in the comments in TikTok, in one of the posts we did.
Yeah, but what?
It was what was it? Where did it go wrong for Chelsea this season? I'll read out what Buddy said to you. We were still on top after the City game, came off the top after West Ham, which was 4-5 weeks later. So what are you talking about?
The City game was the real drop in. We saw what levels were really at that point. You lose to one of your contenders at home as well. Does that not show you signs that we're not really at that level yet?
Oh, mate, I don't know. I just find the comment section so funny sometimes. Like because it's passionate fans essentially, isn't it? It's just guys like me and you just passionate about it, So fair play to Buddy.
Oh god.
Brighton 3, West Ham 1. West Ham, they're just tired, isn't it? They're just tired.
Yeah. The main focus with West Ham was the Europa, and the fact that they didn't get to that final really hurt them, I think.
Yeah. And then in terms of Brighton, I hope for Brighton's sake that they can really pump some money into the squad and invest and give Graham Potter the tools to show how good of a manager not to say he's not proven he's a good manager already, but let him compete with the big boys. You know what I mean? Everyone else is getting mad money, and I could see Brighton becoming a team which I don't see why it's not a big destination, to be fair. It's in terms of a car ride, it's only an hour from London. You're by the sea. It's cheaper cost of living in terms of houses and stuff like that. You're in the Prem. Lord knows, man. Liverpool 3, Wolves 1, Mane. So Neto scored 3rd minute, Mane 24th, Salah 84th, and then Robertson 89th. What have you made of Liverpool season thus far? They will think it's disappointing. One of my good friends is a Liverpool fan. He's disappointed, but they're still in the Champions League final, so it's all right for some minute.
Yeah, I think that will tell how disappointing the season is. If they go and win, the Champions League, I think is a decent season in their standards. But if they lose that, it's a bit disappointing because quadruple was on the cards really.
Yeah.
And the fact is, in the 2 finals they've played, they've only won on penalties. They haven't really thumped a team in the final. So I think this Liverpool team is probably the best challenger ever in the Premier League. Like to come so close for the last, I'll say, 5 times really.
Yeah.
It's impressive. The numbers as well. 92 points is on any other previous Premier League season. That's enough. That's enough. But I feel sorry for Liverpool, but I also don't as well, because Liverpool fans are probably the worst. They won't shut up if they won the quadruple. No one can chat to them. No one can chat to them. So
we're the best Premier League team ever.
Exactly that.
All that stuff. Oh mate. Lord knows. I have a friend. This same friend. He's Muslim, right? And he was telling me about. He was getting upset that they didn't win the league, but they're gonna go into Champions League. I said, oh, but the reason I mentioned he's Muslim, because he said he gets nervous watching Liverpool to the point where sometimes he doesn't watch Liverpool at all. He'll just check the score, but he can't watch physically a game. Okay. And he said he was in his bedroom during the 2005 Champions League final. They were down 3-0 at halftime, as we all know. He washed his hands, washed his face, went downstairs, prayed, and came back and won that Champions League final. He now believes he's the reason that Liverpool won the Champions League final, and you can't tell him otherwise. He's like, no, it's because of me. Like, there's a group of 10 of us like, bruv, what do you want? Bruv, it's because of me why Liverpool won the Champions League final in 2005. I told you, I went downstairs, I prayed several times, and then the next thing I know, we come back and, just disregarding the passion and that for young Stevie G and Xavi Alonso and Rafa Benitez and the boys. But it's hilarious. But Liverpool are just a weird club. Like, I've never met a team. I mean, I've never seen a team that is so good in Europe, but in their league is in terms of Liverpool standing in terms of Premier League, they've been mediocre. They've only got one in how many years? The Premier's been around 25, 30 years?
Well, no, about 26, 27, whatever years,
And for a club so big, they've only got one Premier League title. But, I mean, Arsenal ain't got bears either, but still, and they've got how many European things so far? And people, we refer to them as well as a European team. That's crazy to think of, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is crazy. I think the fact that they really can't compete on a money type of thing with City is difficult as well, because if they had the same amount of money, they would clearly run away with it with Klopp. But it's a difficult one. I feel for Liverpool fans in that aspect, because they should have at least 2 or 3 at this time
on the clock.
It's a difficult one, but I'm not complaining.
But we got to give a big shout out to their scouts in the recruitment department, because they've done a phenomenal job year in, year out of just nitpicking and finding guys who possibly the tail end of the career, they think they can get one last bit out of them, or guys who maybe other people are sleeping on, and they're going to bring them on. They're going to do a specific job for the team. I feel like Klopp does a really good job at that. Yeah, man. In terms of the table, it ended, like you said, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, United, West Ham, Leicester, Leeds, Brighton, Wolves. That was top 10. Who do you see making, in terms of anyone in the league, who do you see making big jumps? And who do you see making big drop-offs in terms of the table next season, this time next year?
I think it's a given, but not a given. I feel like Newcastle should be aiming a bit higher than that next season.
8? Do you think they should be aiming for 8?
Yeah, maybe 8th, 7th, if they get that Europa League spot, around 7th, maybe. Everton should be higher with that team. And obviously Lampard didn't have that much time there. But I think if he doesn't show up in those, in the first half of this next season, I think he's out of the door.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I would say those two. Also, I think Brighton, if they add a striker to that team, they were a bit more clinical.
Yeah.
I think they'll be up there. Obviously, Leicester need to be up there a bit more. Aston Villa are a big team that should be up there.
They just signed Kamara from Marseille, free
which
transfer.
which was a brilliant signing for a 5-year contract as well. I think that makes that defense. Yeah, I think CDM wise, they don't really have anyone there other than that. The Brazilian guy, I forgot his name now, Douglas Luiz, who isn't strong enough in my opinion. So yeah, there's a few names, but yeah, I don't know who would really drop off. Obviously, maybe the Championship teams that come up. Maybe Fulham. Fulham.
So who's
might
coming
be
up?
one.
Fulham's coming up, and who else?
Fulham, Bournemouth, and the playoffs is this weekend against Nottingham Forest and Huddersfield.
Wembley.
Wembley, yeah. It's at Wembley, yeah.
And who do you think makes that one?
I hope Forest, because Huddersfield have been up before and they were quite disappointing. So yeah, Nottingham Forest, obviously their history back in the early 80s was quite amazing.
Two Champions Leagues.
Yeah, 2 Champions League, man.
More than Arsenal. Yeah, like you said, I want to see Brennan Johnson in the league. I want to see, like, can you compete with the big boys? I want to see. And what's the other guy? Is it Spence Jordan? Jet
Spence.
Jet Spence. I want to see him as well. He looks all right. But yeah, Brennan Johnson, I want to see him if he can really do it, if he can compete with the big boys. And if so, Arsenal, let's go. Right. Sticking to the final day of the season. What do you make of this recent trend of fans invading pitches and also the Patrick Vieira situation? Do you see Lampard laugh when they first brought it up with the news reporter?
Yeah.
Cheeky.
No, yeah, we were obviously talking about the Nottingham Forest there. Obviously, they had the pitch invasion where Billy Sharp was knocked out. Yeah, attacked pretty much. And yeah, that it's never nice to see. Obviously, the fans go on the pitch to celebrate and enjoy themselves. And it's a few people like that, and at the Everton and Palace game that go and attack players, and it's not on.
Happened at City as well with the goalie for Aston Villa.
Yeah, so I don't know how you control that situation. The stewards really can't do anything when.
Did you see the off-linesman run early? What game was that? I think it was a championship game, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it was the
off-linesman, as soon as he said the ref,
he just went to the tunnel. Yeah,
the game was still on. The game was still on, but he ran off.
Yeah, no, you can't stop these situations unless the FA really do step in and say, look, it's a permanent ban if you guys go on the pitch.
And give like a £2 million fine to the clubs or something.
Like that. I feel like it's harsh on the club, but in some way to control it, maybe you do have to put out these regulations out.
Arsenal didn't do that because our fans are shite. But I'm joking. There was nothing to celebrate anyway. No, like in Arsenal, the one thing I don't like about going to the Emirates, you can't shout. Like you can't shout. Like if I'm like, come on, like, me, especially at the games, I'm animated. Hey, let's go. I'm shouting all that. Stewart comes, sir, can you please sit down? Sit down. We talking? Hey, go out, man. And then sometimes, like one of the last times I went, I was screaming. There was a little girl next to me, so I had to bite my tongue the entire time. It's like I didn't really enjoy the game. Whereas if I'm in the comfort of my own home, like my mom and sister aren't gonna mind me shouting because they know the game's on. So for the next 90 minutes, I'm gonna be either happy or irate, and it is what it is. You're gonna deal with it. Champions League expanding to allow another Prem space. So I think it'd be 5. I think it's from 2023-2024 season. I think.
Oh, okay.
So there'll be 5 places in the Premier League that be allowed now. And I think it'll be an additional place in the Europe and stuff like that. I think the way they did it is the most successful leagues over the past 10 or 15 years get an extra space. So I think it was us and I think it was either Spain, Italy or Germany. I'm not too sure, but it would be one of those leagues, isn't it? Your thoughts on that? I've spoken to some people and they're not really too fond of the idea.
Yeah, no, I don't think I am either. I feel like top 4 is a competition in itself. So you put in an extra spot kind of not makes it easier, but it, like people will just rely on that fifth spot now. Just as the top four is at the moment, the top four spot is everything, but that fifth spot is open to another team, and it kind of doesn't have that sort of, I don't know, competition in a way.
I know what you mean. I felt the same way because, like, if that happened to Arsenal now, like, I don't get twisted, I'll take it, but it would be one of those like, it's not the same though. But then maybe this is us just adapting with the times, and maybe it's fair, more money to make the league more competitive and stuff. Europa League final, Rangers loss against Frankfurt. Your thoughts on the game, buddy?
It was a brilliant game actually. Both sets of fans were fully up for it. They came in numbers. Rangers went ahead. They really were just a counter-attacking team in that game. They didn't really have a proper striker. What's his name scored? I'm trying to figure his name out. I forgot his name. He played for Charlton. He used to play for Charlton. Joro Rebo scored. And then I thought, that it's destined. They're gonna go and win it. And then Frankfurt scored. It was a good goal, but the defending weren't there, and then went into extra time. I was expecting penalties. Then Ramsey steps up. I didn't think he was going to score. The penalties beforehand were just brilliant anyway. But yeah, he looked nervous when he stepped up, and he just striked it down the middle, and I was like, this is over now. But yeah, well done Frankfurt. They played well over the Europa League season. They beat Barcelona and West Ham. Yeah, great set of fans, but disappointing for Rangers. They did well, but weren't their night.
Do you think Rangers can now like start to attract like more star players because they're showing that they are about the business even in Europe?
Maybe
come to the Prem.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like obviously the players that displayed themselves in this Europa League run will possibly want to go to the Premier League. That Calvin Bassey, who was that centre back in that game, really showed himself. I think he got not rejected, but he got released by Leicester. Rangers picked him up, and he's been unbelievable since. I think he is a East London boy as well. So I'd love to see him in the Prem. I think West Ham are looking out for him. And then I think other players the other English boys like Ryan Kent, I reckon a lot of German teams are looking at him at the moment. I think the Scottish League it's not competitive enough. There's only really two teams that compete, and the Prem is where it's at. I think the UK. In the UK anyway.
It's so crazy how a border would because Newcastle was just there.
Yeah,
and the difference is night and day. Right, buddy. AC Milan winning the Scudetto first time in 11 years. Is it? First time
11 years. 11 years. Yeah.
Your thoughts on them? They've been good. What's his name? The guy that was at you lot. He came out with a cigar for the celebration.
Yeah. Do you see it? Bakayoko.
Yeah. Bakayoko.
Barely played the whole season, and he coming out like he's played the whole season. Like,
why did they vote for him at you lot? Was he just not up to par?
I think he's still on loan. I'm not too sure whether we still have him. It doesn't seem to be working at him any of the loans as well. So it's one of those things. He had potential. I think Monaco, there was a game in I think it was at Wembley in the 2017 season where he was unbelievable for us, and we thought he was going to be him and Kante together. We thought, that's a partnership for the next, say, 5 years, but just didn't work out like that. It's disappointing how his future's really gone, but what can you do?
But in terms of AC, they got Tomori, they got Sandro Tonali, and what's their striker's name? The Portuguese one?
Rafael Leao.
Good spine. And then obviously Theo Hernandez. Is it Fernandez?
Yeah, Hernandez. Yeah.
Is it, obviously they lost Donnarumma last year. But building, and AC historic club San Siro again, another stadium I would love to go to, and just and experience a game there. AC can push forward now and get back to where they're meant to be in terms of like dominating Italy, or do you think Juve is just gonna come and just like spend mad money again? Pogba's rumored to be going back.
It's a tough one because Italy is just run with debt. Like all of these clubs are just overspending, but have real big debts, such as Juve, and that's why they are wanting to do the Super League still. Inter's another club that's in big debt issues.
That's why they had to let go of both Lukaku and Ronaldo because they couldn't afford to pay them anymore.
Yeah.
That's why Dybala's leaving as well because they can't afford the wages he wants.
So the Serie A as a league is really.
How did it happen? How did it happen? Mafia run.
Yeah, to be fair, it is all mafia run. In Italy, obviously we had the issue. I don't know when was it, like 2006, where Juve were doing the match fixing with referees, and they obviously dropped down to the third division. Italy's a weird league. I've never really been a huge watcher of Italy. Obviously, it was back big in the 80s and 90s. But
my younger years I was. Yeah, because I used to watch the highlights on the weekend, like, on I don't know what.
It was Trans World Sport.
Yes,
do you remember?
Yes.
I used to watch highlights, but I was never really into it.
I liked it because all the older boys and all my older uncles used to rave about the Italian league because when they was growing up, that was the league. That the Italian league back then, Serie A back then was the Premier League now. Do you know what I mean? And obviously we put a lost files the other day on our TikTok page for like the Italian league. And just looking back, they had fucking ballers, man. Like I forgot that AC Milan had Patrick Vieira and Desai at the same time.
At the same time.
And then you forget that Bergkamp was at Inter, Ronaldo was at Inter, Totti, Zidane was at Juve, Henry was at Juve, Trezeguet obviously, and then Seedorf was at AC. And like up until I'd say the 04-05 region, is when Italy then was still considered the best league, like because like Spain was good, but it was just Madrid and Barca essentially. But it was Italy back then, and I think. This is one of the pros of you lot's former owner Roman Abramovich come in, because he made everyone in the Prem step your game up. You're either going to spend money with me or we're just going to skyrocket and take every title. And Roman Abramovich was somewhat, I'm going to say he was a blessing to the Premier League, because if he had not come in at the time he did, we may not be talking about the Premier League today as we are back now. Would you agree?
Yeah, and also we didn't have financial fair play back.
And we didn't have financial fair play. I'm gonna buy your player.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, and it's probably why we have financial fair play is because of Chelsea. Yeah,
100%. Oh, what a guy. Kylian Mbappe. We got to speak about him, man. Your thoughts?
Oh God. Oh yeah, your takes first, because
I'm heartbroken. I'm not gonna lie to you. As a Real Madrid fan, I was thinking, yeah, cool. For the past 2 years, it's been on the cards. This guy's coming to Real Madrid. He's coming to Real Madrid. We put in a bid in last year, 200 million. PSG were like, nope, we're not selling him. And we're thinking, you lot are playing a dangerous game. You're running down the last year of his deal. We're offering you 200 million. Let's go. And Real Madrid have done a good job of, similar, because we've said this before, and we'll continue to say it. Football is becoming like American sports. Guys are running down the last years of their deal to get big signing on bonuses and dictate where they want to go. So Mbappe last year of his deal, you're thinking this is arguably the best striker in the world. He's coming to Real Madrid, and he's going to either retire there or be there until he's like 32, 33. He's like, what, 24 now? 24? It's not even in his prime yet. Not even in his prime. I'm thinking, oh yeah, cool. We're gonna have him. We're gonna have my man. We've got Rudiger and Alaba in the back. We've got this guy. Oh yeah, cool. That's us. And then it turns out now he's not coming. He's staying at PSG because they offered him dumb money. But this is where I don't like, right? People are saying, oh, he went for the money. It's his job. End of the day, it's his job. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So you're a pundit. Let's say you're a pundit and you work for BT Sports. I'm Sky. Hey, Ethan, we want you to come. Oh, no, I don't want to come. All right, cool. Hey, Ethan, we really want you to come. We want you to be a part of the project. We're going to put you on Monday Night Football. You're going to have your own podcast show, this and that. You'll own this much % of the royalties. No, we ain't going to do that. All right, cool, Ethan. Third time. We've offered you a package that really reflects how much we're going to offer. We're going to offer you X amount of millions signing on bonus, X amount of salary. We're going to pay for your kids to go to school, and we're going to bring your parents over here and set them up with businesses that they can go. Who says no?
Yeah.
Who says no? It's his job.
Exactly.
Bro, if you're telling me PSG was going to offer, if I'm a footballer and I want to go Real Madrid, my heart's set on going Real Madrid, and they're going to offer me 100 million signing on bonus, 50 million per year for 3 years, and I get a say in dictating who's going to be sporting director and the transfers, I'd be an idiot to say no. So for the next 3 years, I'm guaranteed 250 million. Before I've even kicked a ball, you're going to give me I know I've made a lot of money already. That's the type of money which, by my end of my career, I'm going to be a billionaire. Do you know what I mean? With all the endorsements and stuff. Who says no? So that's one thing I don't like what the media are doing, because at the end of the day, this is a guy's job. From a footballing standpoint, I think he gives PSG the chance to allow them to rebuild and go again. But for him, I think he's missed a big boat. Because Benzema, I don't know how, he's not slowing down, but I don't know how many years left he has of being an elite guy. And I really feel like him and Mbappe up top would have really done well with the game, as well as Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo on the flank as well. And Modric, I would have loved him and Modric to be playing against as of right now. But yeah, overall, mate, gutted. But alas, we'll get him one day. Your thoughts, buddy?
My only thing is not my only thing, actually. There's two things. The money thing is, yeah, like you said, with the media, is the fact that if he went to Real Madrid anyway, Madrid would have chucked money at him as well. He would have been in the same position. So I don't get the whole, he's gone for the money or he's taken the money. That's all rubbish in my opinion. Also, the control that he has at PSG is something that's unbelievable. This is where we probably see a slight switch, maybe, where players now will have some sort of control in their club. Where it's like basketball, yeah. The fact that he has a say on signings or whether someone should go or not is the players that will play with him now won't look at him like a player. They'll look at him like he's one of the guys up in the board. Like he makes those last decisions. So it's unbelievable. The fact that he has so much control at a club is crazy. But look, the fact he's only got the contract until 2025. So what we're saying, he might be 26 or 27 at the time he's hitting his peak. Maybe he can go elsewhere and he'll be on the top of his game at that time. So I don't see it as a bad thing for the viewers. We're going to see him roll out the years. Yeah, win-win. Obviously, PSG want that Champions League, and that's the reason why they've paid that much. He's that main guy that can take them there. But yeah, it is disappointing because it is a farmers league. No one really watches that league. And to watch him week in, week out, maybe at Madrid would have been exciting. But look, who says no to that money?
No one's saying no. No one's saying
says no to that money.
No one. And you'd be, if I saw him right now and he turned out and he went to Madrid and I see him down the road, I say, you're an idiot, bro. And I'm a Real Madrid fan, but you're an idiot, bro.
Yeah.
250 million for 3 years, bro. That's not even including incentives and bonuses and stuff. So it could go up to 300 mil.
Yeah.
In terms, but like you were saying in the football thing, and like we're seeing guys now have to like have control in terms of signing stuff. We've said this several times. It's becoming like basketball. LeBron has a say on who comes in. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Who else? Who else in this league? Who else in basketball would you say has a say in who?
Maybe KD. KD has a
KD would have a say. Jimmy Butler. Do you think he'd have a say? Or Miami?
Yeah. He does.
Giannis.
Yeah, defo does.
Joel Embiid must have a say.
Yeah, I'd say all the stars of these big franchises. Yeah, the superstars. Yeah.
So that's what definitely. I think. That's just like football fans need to come to terms that this game is changing. It's becoming more Americanized in terms of guys. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing in terms of football. I don't know. We'll find out and see. But this is just the way it is now. These guys are so powerful, and like you're saying, if PSG don't have him, they're not doing nothing, bro. They're not doing. Forget about Champions League, because who's going there? Like he said, the only reason he's stayed and he's gone is because he's from Paris and he's French, so he wants to implement his stamp in French football. Do you think maybe the league had a say in so in making PSG? Oh, yo, you better do this, because if you don't, we're in trouble. We're gonna lose some TV sponsors, because you notice. The minute Ronaldo left Real Madrid, Sky dropped their La Liga deal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
If Kylian Mbappe went to Real Madrid, I guarantee you Rupert Murdoch's on the phone to the league. Yo, what are you saying? Trying to get this deal back or not? Because I'm watching it. We're all watching it. We're all watching it. Do you know what I mean? So do you think the league must have had a say so in like, yo, you got to keep this guy?
I don't know about that, but obviously the letter from La Liga told you a lot about their TV deals and stuff, that the sponsorships that were on the cards with Mbappe moving over there. So they're obviously frustrated, because that was really their cash cow. Really, they could have really brought in some big revenue, big TV revenues from it. So it's crazy how such a deal has got everyone talking so much. No, it's only going to get worse as well.
Stars run the league, man. Stars run the league.
That's
People
it.
have to accept it. Because I do watch PSG games, but it's difficult watching it. I'm not going to lie to you. Because they'll be playing like Angus or something, And Angus are a good team, but the stadium's tiny. It's like, I'm only watching this game because of Mbappe. Like, if I'm being really honest, Mbappe and Neymar, Messi, you're not it anymore, mate. Sorry. But yeah, boy. Couple last things on footy. If Ronaldo leaves Man United, where does he go? Does he go back to Sporting Lisbon, MLS, or China?
I don't know. I really don't know. I reckon he's got his options there. MLS is one of those things. If he goes to LA, he's the big star. Hollywood, all of the lights on him. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. Sporting Lisbon makes sense to go back there for maybe a year or two, seeing as that was his team when he came through. But elsewhere, I don't think it makes sense. I think America makes sense if he's with his family and stuff. Can
you hear me? What about now?
No.
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, just repeat what you just said, that last bit.
It makes sense for him to go to America, because these kids and stuff might have a better life out there for maybe a few years. But I can't see him going to Asia or China or Saudi Arabia. It just doesn't make sense.
KDB winning Premier League Player of the Year.
I'd say the last few games he's fallen off a bit. I think Salah would have been on to winning it if his form didn't dip so much after the African Cup of Nations. I don't think anyone else was really in contention other than those two anyway.
Foden winning Young Player.
I don't think he deserved it, to be fair. He didn't play. Didn't have a consistent run. There was other players that had better stats than him during the season. So I know it's not all based on stats, football, but seeing Declan, would you class Declan Rice as a youngster?
I'd class him as a young player.
He had that unbelievable season throughout. Was consistent. Stats show he had a good season. Gallagher had a good season.
Trent
had that probably a better season than Foden. Mount had the better. Ramsdale as well. So I'm listing a load of players.
Saka tailed off a bit. To the end.
Saka tailed off.
Have you noticed he always looks tired at the end of the season? We play him too much, man. The guy needs a rest.
Yeah, he has an injury. And the fact that he played that Newcastle game,
he shouldn't have played that game, innit? He shouldn't have played that game.
He shouldn't have.
I think that's it, buddy, innit?
Yeah, I think that is it.
Episode 42, Our League Podcast. I'm on after the little Eds, my co-host, my brother, my brethren, Ethan. Catch us every week, all social media platforms, all streaming platforms. And that's it. We're out. Peace.
Yeah.